How you doing, Mama Chula?
Mama Chula.
So, where'd that come from?
Mami Chula.
Yeah, where'd you get that name from?
Well, when I was in college, I wanted to represent my Mexican side.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was looking for a DJ name. And I couldn't figure out one. And one of my friends, he was Mexican. He was like, why not Mami Chula? It means cute, sexy girl in Spanish. And, it's a little more Puerto Rican, but it's okay. Everybody knows what it means. I was like, I like that.
Cool.
And there it was.
So what happens to Amy? Now, does that get lost? I mean, sometimes I don't know how to call you because I want to do the right thing,
When I first started, I was so gonna be Mami Chula. There was nothing stopping me. I even made my family sometimes call me Mami Chula. I'd be home there, or no, if they would come here, I'd be like, no, call me Mami Chula. I don't want people to know my real name because this big DJ taught me, listen, if they don't have a personal connection with you, they don't need to know your real name.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, okay. So I kind of ingrained in me. And then I was just like, Mom, if we're out, just don't call me. But now, it's just ridiculous sometimes. Now I want them to be more Amy than Mami Chula.
Really?
Yeah. Now it's different. I'm not used to hearing my name out and about. My aerial gym calls me Amy. And that's it. Even Fit Radio calls me Mami Chula. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, my day job. They'll call me Mommy. Hey, Mommy, come here. They can't. They don't. They're calling you Amy is weird to me.
But isn't that your brand going to be Mama Chula, though? Isn't that
that's
part of it? Is that Ariel, too? Is that what you're using?
Yeah, it is. It is. Only because I tried to change my DJ name. Because I wanted something more of an original name. Mm-hmm. And that's why I was like, I'm going to change my name to Ella. I was legit going to change legally my name to Ella. Because I hate Amy.
Really?
I hate it.
How come names you choose to prefer to be called? You wrote Amy on the file.
Oh, because that's my original name. I didn't want you to call me Mami Chula.
Oh, that's how Gary introduced me to you.
Well, yeah, because that's, he doesn't ever call me Amy.
I'm glad we're talking about this.
Yeah.
I really need to chill out on the name game. So
yeah, I don't know. We're very personal with each other. So right. Amy, but if we were out somewhere, and you were introducing me for a reason, DJing wise or, whatever business wise type thing, and Mami Chula is needed until somebody asks, I say, oh, it's Amy. Today, I want to talk about with you, and before I go to Bad Boys 3, about preparing for performance.
Right.
Such a big under pressure performance. Is there something I can do before I go into it? And, I downloaded Headspace, and they have a performance meditation thing, but I really didn't feel like it was worth it because they just did, the normal breathe in, breathe out. But when it came to the performance, he said two things about it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if it's because I only did a 10-minute one or it needs to be longer or whatever, but
I'll tell you what I've done, okay? Mm-hmm. I was in court one time. And I won't go into the whole spiel about what it was, but it was a familial thing after my wife passed away. It wasn't a pretty time. Mm-hmm. But I was really going, okay, I'm going to be really nervous. And I knew I was going to be nervous. So what I did was I took a picture of my mother and I had it in my shirt pocket. And I really did. I would look at her every once in a while and I would be like, and it really helped because she was nowhere really around. I mean, she was in New York, but and it was actually a really funny picture because we did this skit about I've fallen and I can't get up.
Oh, that's funny.
It really was, and it was a picture of her actually playing this thing out. But it really, really worked for me. And honestly, when you're going into something, you have to have something in play, whether it's a word, but it has to work. It can't be philosophical like what you were just saying about breathing. Now, breathing does work. You are manipulating your physiology, so it will work if you take nice, long, deep, slow breaths. There's no doubt that will help. But you also want to know what is your recipe for success. So while you have these strategies and ideas that are kind of generic, right? Mm-hmm. You do have to find out what works for you. And so is there a visualization thing for you? If I said, what brings you to your happy place or your calm place or something like that, is there a certain person that just brings And then maybe you can have a picture of that person with you, or if the thought is enough. But for me, I wanted to make sure, and it did help. I love vision pages. I've got like vision pages all over the place.
Yeah, I do too.
And I think that they're pretty important. And so what is it that when you see has you like chill and like, let the game come to you, we say in sports, because if you're pushing, you're not going to be at your best. And when the adrenaline is running, you might think you are, because your pupils are dilated and you're all focused and everything like that. And that's great from like, they call running from a saber-toothed tiger, right? Fight or flight. It's not really optimal if you're really interested in being optimal. It's kind of suboptimal. So your best thing to do for you is to find out what works for you. Maybe there's a certain quote. I love the words mantras, and I think that mantras are a slam dunk, and maybe that's the end all be all for you if you just come up with a mantra. And we work it out till we find out that it really engages. Like you can feel, it's like, oh my God, that is so it. Like every time I say that, I'm like,
no, I definitely want something like that, a mantra, just to say over and over to myself.
okay.
Just having confidence in myself, just knowing that I prepared, I've worked my ass off. Now I'm here. It's not some show up. And usually I feel like I do good under pressure, but there's definitely been those times where I was like, I messed up, and I'm pushed on, and I kept going, but it was definitely in my head.
Right.
It was stuck in my head. So
what's your criteria? You say I do good under pressure. I'm curious about what you're thinking. Like when you're under pressure, are you feeling like you're being pushed and that you're functioning from a pushed place and that you do well when you're in a pushed place? Or are you saying that you function well under pressure, that while you're being pushed, you're able to maintain your calm?
I think the first one.
Okay, then I'm going to have to be very, very careful. See, I have to know that. Because as a default mechanism, because I know how the brain works, the brain functions better when it's not pushed. They study brains like Derek Jeter's brain, and they find out, wow, they're expecting to see more areas of his brain lit up, and they found less. And so you slow down, you slow the mechanism, and it slows everything. And it's like everything is happening like very deliberately. It's like, wow, I saw that ball coming in, and it was so slow, it wasn't fast. The mind just actually slows down, and I believe that's, there's a thing called speed and accuracy. And the best analogy that I think there is you're trying to get a key in the door and you pull your keys out of your pocket and you try to do it fast. You can't do it. So when you get close, you have to slow down so that you can be accurate. Over time, you can pick up and go a little faster, through entrainment, through conditioning. But for real, if you want to be accurate, you kind of slow down until it becomes unconscious. You incorporated it, integrated it, subconscious. Where it's masterful, we call it unconscious competence, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's the key. Is like, I personally would love to see you be more successful, not being awesome frenetically. Because when you learn how to be successful frenetically, then you've got to be frenetic in order to be successful, because that's your role.
What's phonetically?
Just like static, like running like a chicken without a head on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like just running around.
Well, it's kind of also makes me think about, is it really mean, the people say, I drive better drunk. Like, do you really?
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, some people think they sing better drunk.
Yeah, exactly.
Until they hear a tape.
Do you really? That's your perception, but
right.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe.
when you're drunk, you do know your perception is altered, right?
Exactly.
So you have nothing to go by that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking, that maybe I'm thinking that I think I work better under pressure, but do I really?
Well, let's play with that. Let's play with mantras right now.
Forming a mantra, forming a mantra. We are forming a mantra.
Finding a mantra.
Finding a mantra.
Sing it, girl.
Finding a mantra.
God, you're good.
Oh, yeah, that's so good.
Well, listen, you can't rap.
I can't sing.
Well, what does they call that? Jingle. You can't jingle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like...
like they do that like on a late show? Now we're going to do the Finding the Mantra segment. Finding the Mantra. We can have the Finding Your Mantra. The words come up. Maybe we'll put that in.
Oh, that would be so funny.
Yeah. So how does that song go?
Finding a mantra. We're finding a mantra.
Cool. I wish I knew how to do those block lettering with
I can totally do that for you.
All right, cool. All right, so let's find your mantra.
Okay.
All right.
So what is the first thing? So I want my mantra to be about.
Right. Exactly. Well, first thing you have to do is like you really label what it is that you're really like. What's intimidating you? What's your challenge? What are you fearful of? Are you scared? What are you scared of? What you don't want to lose your shit, right? So
Yeah.
what is it that you are really fearful of that needs to be addressed?
First thing comes to mind is getting to the place and not performing. Not performing good.
Okay. Well, a lot of that has to do, again, with pressing. Okay, so there's something called state-dependent memory learning and behavior. You can look it up. It's a pretty fascinating phenomenon. And what that is if you're going to do a test, for instance, and you study and you're like really chilled and you're reading the book and you know when you're going to take the test that you're going to be freaking out. Because you're in a different state, you're freaking out than the one that studied it. You don't have any access to the material. It's called retrieval. You lose retrieval.
Yes.
Because it's state dependent. I'm talking about brain state. So what you really want to do is if you know that you're going to freak out, you want to study freaked out. Because then when you're freaked out during the test, because you're in the same state, you'll have easy retrieval. So we don't want to do that. I really believe from what I'm seeing in the literature is pretty unforgiving around this. That's why meditation is so important and stopping and still. You know, when you quiet things, your body functions better, your brain functions better. You see the bigger picture. You start to rise above your own crap, you know. But if you're just running around like a chicken without a head on, you're really running on automatic pilot. And at that point, you don't really know what's going to stick. You're kind of getting lucky. It's like, let's see what happens, you know, when I'm running on automatic pilot. God, I hope I've done enough, you know, whatever it is, conditioning that automatic pilot's going to be good enough for me.
Yeah.
But if you could slow down, really, 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 really slow down, then you won't be messed up. And so when you hear your head like going, oh my God, I'm worried I'm going to mess up, that already is exceeding metabolic capacity. It's putting you in a state of overwhelm, right? And that alone is going to compromise functionality. So what you want to do is like we can do what's called an if-then, which is if I start to freak out, I choose to remember that, boom, you know, like no matter what happens, I'm going to be okay. This isn't the end. This isn't the end of my career. This is one step. This person that I'm working with, or this what I'm doing. Look at the breath in you right there. Did you see that? When you went, I would say we have to do something like that. Because that breath is going to have you functioning much better because you're not managing while you're freaking out. You're not trying to manage it while you're freaking out.
Right.
So we want to do whatever we can to get that breath. So what was it that I just said that gave you such peace, that made you physiology just go?
I don't know. I guess the part where like when you started going into my career is not over, but like I know that there's certain things in my big career. So like just for instance, I had the chance to perform in front of the NFL. It was an NFL for Super Bowl, right? And it was the biggest Super Bowl people were coming in to look at talent and showcase and food and all this stuff. And so, you know, I've been working, I prepared, and then, you know, I guess it's just training and learning, but like I got lifted up and well, first of all, I walked in and these wings that I had, they kept getting caught on my toe. And I was like, okay, well then the last one, it literally got caught on my toe and I couldn't move. So I had to just stop. And this was like a big entrance. People were surrounding me and I'm like smiling and I'm like, okay. And so I literally take the wing and scoop it off my foot and then drop the wings. They take them off of me and I go to my DJ table. Well, I get pulled up and it was a little mixture of both of us. I didn't pull back my legs enough and she didn't pull me up fast enough. And I hit the play button and the music just stopped. There was nothing. It was silent. And me and my girl are looking at each other because we didn't prepare if that happened. Right? So I'm like, And so she pulls me down a little bit and I try and hit my toe. Start the thing over, nothing. And when you first start, everybody's watching. Right. It's not like, some people are watching it. Everybody's watching you. So I literally had to come down, hit play, start over, and go back up. after that, I just felt like, okay, people are like half watching me. You know what I mean? You got to grab them.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, it's definitely learning.
That was it.
If it ever happens again, I know what to do. My girl knows what to do. But it's just like in those points, it's just like,
right.
Did I grab that moment? You know, and what I do is like I'm pushing even harder. And I did mess up in my sequences. Now, the thing is about my sequences is like you don't know what I'm doing when I'm not doing. You don't know if I messed up or not because you've never seen it before. So I could just like pretend it off, but I don't think I pretended it off. Like I messed it up, right? So 1 to 10, that performance was probably a 5.
Wow.
And it was one of the biggest opportunities that I had. So 3 things I think I could have done better in there. 1, have that ready if the music ever cut off. 2, prepare harder. Because I don't know if I was preparing for something else. Right. And it just so happened it came back after that. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. So I did practice a lot.
Right.
And then the other one was, you know, just knowing how to keep going without stopping. Like,
that's it. Improvise.
That's
what I was.
And I usually am good. Like, I don't know why that got in my head.
Because you attributed great significance to the moment. That's really what that was about. That really is what happens is. And we all do this because you contributed so much significance to that moment, and you did. It had you pushing even more. And the fact is, it was a real look. You wanted that. It was the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
And like you said, it was a learning, which is really, really important because you went in there without really ready for what would happen if it's silent. Now you are. Mm-hmm. You didn't really waste your time. You just really. You were at something that you weren't at a level of competence yet. You really weren't. It would have been nice. But you were too new and you didn't really have like fail safe. I love to use the fire extinguisher analogy, which is improvise.
Yeah.
You know, part of improvising sometimes could be having something set in case something goes wrong.
Right.
You know, like a plan B. And you need to have that because people that are going to hire you for like the Super Bowl, they need to know like, well, if this happened here, this could happen there. And, you know, I can't know that, you know, she made a mistake. Yes, they won't know the routine, but I can definitely tell something went wrong here. So she's not at that level yet. And so it was a learning. And it's like, I love that term. Like, I do love the term entitlement because you have to see that you were underprepared for that. What would have been worse was if you did it flawlessly and then they hired you. And then that's something like that happened on TV or something like that, right? Right? Because you really weren't at that level of competence. So it's okay that it happened because it makes you grind, and you're good at grinding. You're good at like, you know, getting better and doing it. And you will learn. And you see how it takes. You know, everybody who's overnight success, right? Has been working at it for 7 years.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And so, you know, you're fairly new at this. The whole concept is brand new. It's pretty darn awesome.
Yeah.
So that's where you have to like, the way I'm thinking. You are a pusher. You do. You like to push. But you don't want to push because it's you want to be in line with your competence. You want to know where you are in your mastery of something, right? When you're pushing, you know, it's almost like you're trying to say that you're further along, like as if you've already done that and you're prepared for this and you already had that learning. But you have to go through it to get the learning, right?
Yeah.
So if you can be okay with like no matter what happens, you know, finish the sentence. You win some, you
lose some.
Okay, from now on, I want you to say, learn some.
Learn some.
Okay, so now we're
Yeah.
ready. Now finish this sentence. You win some,
You learn some.
Right, there is no losing.
Yeah, exactly. I know that too. Because I want to take everything learning. And as soon as I learn that, the next week, we went in the gym and figured that out.
So whatever's going to happen with the Bad Boys 3 thing, you're gonna win.
Yeah.
It does, and you're going to learn something. You're going to learn either because, wow, I don't want that to happen again, or, damn, I rock. I really crossed all my T's and all my I's, but you know what? I've been doing this stuff for years. Let me tell you something. When you get off of there, even if you nailed it, you're going to have some ideas of things you can do better.
Of course, yeah.
And that's beautiful, and you want that. You really want your competence to keep going through the roof, right?
Yeah.
And which is really what's going to happen. So you have to believe in yourself that you're going to win some, you're going to learn some. And you're probably going to do both, at the same time.
Yeah, totally.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So, but I want to finish the mantra.
Yeah.
What's the theme song?
finding my mantra, finding my mantra, finding my mantra. Hey.
Good. All right. Cool. All right. So, what have you heard so far that, still trying to find out what gave you that breath before? So what do you think it is? Is it the fact that everything's going to be okay, like you said? You know what I mean? Like, you really don't need this job. I know you want it, but that's the pusher in you. You're going to get exactly what you need relative to your competence, and you're going to keep growing. So you don't want to be a conduit of entitlement. I know that. I know you want to earn it. I know you don't want it given to you. I know this about you. I know you love grinding. I know you love the hustle. I think you love it's like being a guy. The chase sometimes is better than the catch.
I don't know about that. I like catching.
I said sometimes.
I just want to remind myself that I'm doing something that nobody's ever done. I'm doing something that is... Before this, I was never an aerialist. I didn't even do gymnastics. Like, I didn't do none of that. And I just want to remind myself that I have put in the work and the time and the sacrifice. And I just, to live up to that moment that I've been working on so long. Like, I've been working on this, going hard, two-a-day practices.
Right. But see, now imagine if like you tell this to a baby in the womb and say, look, I've been doing this hard for like months, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. When is this baby coming? The baby's going to come when the baby comes. You've been working hard. So if you're grinding and you're going, I've been doing this a really long time, and that experience came after you've grinded so long, to still want it just because you've grinded as long as you've grinded is still entitlement, because you haven't grinded enough, because you didn't have that experience, you didn't have that learning, you didn't have what do I do in the silence, how do I improvise, how do we handle silence, and that's independent of how much you've grinded. You understand? So all of these steps are really, really important, and I think that word entitlement is really coming up. I mean, the thing is, you want to earn this, and you got to be ready to do whatever it takes. And if you're really ready to do whatever it takes, and that includes being able to withstand these disappointments, especially, and if these disappointments are coming because you're pushing, then I'm going to be like, shame on you. Okay, you got to start becoming a little more chill. We don't need you freaking out. We need you to excel. And
so when I feel like I'm pushing, what do I do?
Well, that's it. That's why we're trying to come up with the mantra right now. We're looking for a mantra that's going to bring that breath that you just had. We want to be able to recreate that breath organically that you just had. So there's something, and I don't know what it is yet, but we'll get there. But you can see how this is called a deeper dive. We're having a deeper dive right now. You're just understanding the concept right now.
Yeah.
The concept is real. And when we finally figure this out, which we don't know what it is yet, but when we finally figure it out, it'll be real. And you'll feel it. People that are watching this will feel it off of you, that it's real for you. And you'll be singing, I found my mantra. But that's really the key. If that's not happening, we got to talk about, well, that's not the right mantra. Then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the bigger thing right now is like you were talking about, like what it is that scares you the most, or is like falling on your face kind of thing. Is that how you want to word it?
Well, nobody ever gets to fall on their face. I mean, literally or figuratively. Like,
what is it? Is that what's really getting you, or is it going to be rejection? Is it going to be? I mean, that's what I'm saying. If it's rejection, then we got to go back to the book that you're reading, right?
Right. No, rejection isn't it no more. It's okay. Going up, being in front of, just say, Will Smith, and I'm doing my thing, and I fuck it up. Like, just that. It's just as simple as that. Like, I don't want that to happen, and I'm working super hard for that not to happen. I don't want that to happen.
What if you fucked up, and then you can turn that into a positive because you can turn your charm on? It's like, okay, roll the fucked up execution now. Let's go. I fucked up. So you can't be endearing. You can't turn it into a positive. I mean, you do know that there are people who do fucked up things on purpose. So,
Yeah.
Firemen set fires so they can put out the fires. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People, they'll put out things on purpose so that they can show that they're a hero. So could you handle being in front of Will Smith fucking up, and can you have fun with it? can you go, okay, hold on, you know?
I actually did that the other day because like I was doing something weird with my face.
Right.
And I was trying to, like, I've been wooing people, so I've been performing in front of whoever will watch me in the gym. Like,
Right.
I'm like, you come here, and you come here, and you come here. You're going to watch me.
That's awesome.
And so I'm hitting it, and I do this weird thing with my face. I'm like, I don't know. I do weird faces. And so my girl was like, what was that face? That was weird. It looked like you were kind of sure, but you weren't sure. And I was like, I know. I look like Shanae, Martin Lawrence.
It's good.
Because I felt it, and she just was laughing and stuff, so... I do that. And I know I'm putting so much pressure on myself. I'm prepared. I'm there. I got it.
There it is. I got it. But you see what you're saying, though, you got to get this, is that you're saying, I got it, except if I fuck up. But now you got to remind yourself, maybe this is your mantra, that you got it even when the unexpected happens. Because we say, you know, welcome to the mystery. You've got to thrive in the unknown.
And this movie thing is it changes so much. Like, my girl's like, listen, you could get there and think you're doing this, and it could change completely. So I got it. I got to have this. I got to have it on the fly. I got to have it on...
I think you do. I really think you do. I don't understand why you don't think you do.
That's what, maybe it's confidence.
Right.
Maybe it's more confidence.
Well, maybe it's not even confidence. Maybe you're not being honest with yourself. What if you're not really, really breaking this thing down? What if you're not going into this deep enough to find out that you do have what it takes? So instead of giving yourself confidence, what if you really like dove deeply into this thing, had a high definition like inquiry, and found out that, oh my God, yeah, the more that you get really present and honest with yourself, the more that you're quote unquote going to be more confident, because you're going to recognize that you really are going to be okay. See, the word confidence kind of means coexist with the idea that maybe you can't handle it if you fuck up, so I'm just going to put confidence out there because I can handle it if I fuck up. It's like, well, what if you got honest with yourself to the point that you recognize that, oh my God, I can fuck up? Like, it's through honesty that you gained your confidence. I'd rather you have that than trying to build your confidence. I think you need to like look in the mirror and find out that you really are going to be okay if you fall flat on your face, and that you've got this. But right now you've got it set up in such a way that, oh no, if I fall on my face, I'm screwed. Well, that's a hell of a program to be writing for yourself. Because once you fall on your face, it's going to execute program. I'm screwed. You know, look like an idiot. It's like, wait a minute. What's with that program? But because that's the tape that you're running in your head right now. I don't know if you're following this, but I mean, does this make sense? I mean,
like I do understand what you're saying. I'm just thinking as you're saying, like, what am I doing? Because like I feel
you're not getting honest with yourself enough. You're not digging deep enough into the core of who you are, because you're talking about building confidence. The truth is, you really, if you got honest with yourself, the confidence would be there. If you got honest with yourself about, you know, what you're capable of, unless, of course, you're not really prepared.
No, I'm super prepared.
There you go.
I know I'm prepared. I made the sequence easy enough. It's just,
Well, if you know that you're prepared.
I know I'm prepared.
And look, inevitable things are going to happen. You know, we're going to have technical difficulties. It happens. You know your wings are going to get stuck on your toe, you know, and the music's going to get hit.
That's so funny.
These things are going to happen. And you know, how you handle that is more important. You know, like, let me give you a great example. If you see somebody who's speaking and they're trying to get away with it and they're nervous as hell, and they're not telling you that they're nervous as hell, they're trying to pretend, they're trying to work through it, you've lost your audience. You cannot people hate that stuff. But if you get up there and you say, man, God, this is the last place in the world I want to be. I am so nervous. I mean, please forgive me if I stumble and stuff like that. You've just got, everybody in the audience is now pulling for you.
Right.
Because you're authenticating your process.
Right.
You know, you're being authentic. And maybe that's it. Maybe it's that, maybe you just need to like not worry about the image so much. Maybe worry about the image when everything's going well. Right. But then when it's not, maybe instead of go, oh fuck, you know, authenticate yourself beyond the oh fuck. You know, really, you know, it's like, oh my God. You know, Murphy's Law, right?
Right.
You know, I mean, and just be really darling and say, look, I know there's no such thing as do-overs, but I'm taking one, you know?
Right, I like that.
It or not, you know, because you don't get chances.
And I'm talking about problems that's not even there. Like, I hate that I'm feeling this.
Hypothetical situations.
Yeah.
You're getting stressed out over. You know what? There are unlimited hypothetical situations. I've got a good mantra around hypothetical situations if you want.
Yes.
Yeah, when hypothetical situations come, I choose to remind myself that most of them never happen. So when hypothetical situations
come,
come, I choose to remind
myself
myself that most of them never happen.
That's a lot of words for me.
Okay. So let's go with this. Okay, let's soften it. Okay, I love that. So
When I can't even say
let's just say when I'm overthinking, just for you. When I'm overthinking a situation,
when I'm overthinking the situation,
I choose to remember that most of the time things are going to go perfectly well.
I choose to remember things are going to go perfect.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Right.
Okay, so when I overthink situations, I choose to remember things are going to go perfect most of the time.
Right.
I can remember that, dog.
Right. Now, are you prepared
Yes.
for when they don't go well? Like, do you have your fire extinguishers in place? Because if you're going, well, I don't know how I feel about that mantra because that most of the time thing doesn't, I need it to go well all of the time. Really? So then you don't have the fire extinguisher. If you need it to go well all the time, then you're really underprepared while you're saying you're overprepared.
Yeah.
You know, do you really need it to go 100% well, or are you prepared if things go wrong? And if you're prepared when things go wrong, you need to get honest with yourself that you're prepared if things go wrong, and boom, there's your confidence. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
now?
totally.
You understand where I'm going with this? Mm-hmm. So, but if that syntax doesn't work, that mantra, we can word it differently. I want to get that breath. I think that we're starting from the wrong place about hypothetical situations or overthinking. I think for you, there's something else that's really capturing you or gets you like, whatever it is, lost in its clutches. You know, we call it being hooked.
Well, the thing with the NFL party is, well, the NFL party made me realize that I wasn't prepared in that situation. And I never wanted to feel that feeling again.
Good.
Yeah, I was definitely down on myself for 2 weeks. And since then, I've been seeking stuff to help me deal with that better, and finding out that successful people, once something happens, they let it go right away. And that's why certain people are more successful than others.
Right.
So I've been working really hard towards stuff like
Good.
that. But I definitely want to be knowledgeable enough to know that, like, that is a learning situation, and I want to figure out all the ways that things could possibly go wrong,
Right.
and have that fire extinguisher.
Right.
So.
Right, and especially when don't think of all the ways it can go wrong. Just have some really good improvising strategies. Mm-hmm. You know, just have some in place, because you can try to like think about every hypothetical situation of what might go wrong, and whatever's going to go wrong is going to be one you didn't think of.
Yeah.
You know how that is. You can't think of everything.
I don't know why. Like, I've performed so much in my life. And I think that
you're a pusher.
I know.
I'm telling you, it goes back to, I think you're attributing too much significance when you're having an interview, for instance, or you're doing whatever, an audition. I think you push a little too much. I'd like to just see you have fun with it. I mean, that's what they say.
That's what they say. When I know I'm having fun with it and not so serious, that's when I perform the best.
Right. But see, but I think that you're looking at the fun element and not the breath. I'm going to make this about the brain again. I want to make sure that the brain is in chill so that you
Me too.
are doing really well. Because if you're freaking out and like, oh my God, but I'm having fun, it's not. I don't know if you're still going to function optimally.
Yeah.
You get my point? Mm-hmm. So I still want you to work on, I don't care if you call it equanimity. I used this term this week with somebody about being in a Zen state. Since you're going into your Zen phase, which is really true. And there's something very mature about that. Like you feel like you're actually learning. You talk about learn something. Part of learning is not pushing all the time, And so what can you do to get yourself in that Zen state? I think that's the key. I think there's the mantra, is something that's going to have you...
Maybe quiet, like you said, quiet myself down, chill out, and then just stop for a moment and just tell myself what I want to be.
Right. Okay, cool. Now let me follow to that. Let's just say you want to be successful, right? Mm-hmm. There's a great quote by Abraham Lincoln. I don't have the exact hours, but he said, if I had 6 hours to chop down a tree, I'd spend the first 4 sharpening the axe, which is an amazing thing. So if you want to be successful, how bad do you want it? I mean, enough that you'll chill the fuck out? Mm-hmm. Because that's the key. Because if you're not chilling the fuck out, then you don't want to be successful enough, because you're not optimal. You're like chopping the tree with a dull axe. Mm-hmm. So you have, if you really want to be successful, you're not going to let your brain and your mind and your thoughts run you ragged, and get you out of control and get you frazzled. You got to be like, I got this. And if I don't got this, I'll get it then. You know what I mean? And that's what's missing. That's what you're deficient in. You're deficient in the chilled girl saying, I got this. You're used to the freaked out girl going, okay, what do we got to do? Let's say A, B, C, D. We got it all. Okay, let's go. Hit it. And it's like, it's not going to be optimal.
That's exactly what it is, Doc.
That's
oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
You need to make that a segment right there.
Okay.
Write that down. Well,
we got it on tape.
Yeah, no, I know. But the tape, you need to write this, because that, was perfect in that little bit.
Okay. Well, because I bring it right back to the brain, and the brain functions
The mind
better.
is everything.
It is mindset.
It's everything.
Mindset's
Everything.
Mindset is like breathing, but I don't like facilitating breath. Though it works. Don't get me wrong, it works. But I want the breath to be there organically because your headspace is right. You're in the right mind state that you don't have to be like, okay, breathe. Come on, breathe. Come on, breathe. That, to me, we've already lost it. If you're asking this person to breathe, come on, breathe. I got this. I got this. To me, that's not it. It's like, okay, I got this. And what happens when you really know, when you get honest with yourself that you got this? You're checking it in with your honesty. Nothing manipulative. You're going, I got this.
Yeah.
And now you're going to be okay. And bad things are going to happen, yeah, but you're okay.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, yeah. Well, I also have something good to talk about. So I was DJing at the airport yesterday, and Ellen DeGeneres, website person, calls and says, hey, we want to have you, put your name in. I still have to get picked, but she's like, what you do is amazing. Put your video in and we can have you on a segment. It's the part that they have you in the audience and says what you do for a living, and Ellen has to guess it, and then you go do your...
Effing way, that's awesome.
I know, but she wants to have me for Thursday next week. So she's trying to get me to come. I'm filming Bad Boys Tuesday, Wednesday, and then fly out Wednesday afternoon and do the show Thursday. I'm like, I can't.
Yes, you can.
No, I can't now because Wednesday we have a full day of taping.
Right.
So, but I'm like...
What time is the show being taped on Thursday?
I don't know. And I would hate to tell... no, I don't know. Bad Boys, first, it's changed so much.
Right. Well,
first
I am worried about that. I know about that.
Yeah, because one day it's during the day, and then we were only gonna have one day shoot, then it turned to two, and then they changed the date, and so I just wouldn't feel comfortable telling her yes I could do it, and then Bad Boys is like, oh wait, well we might need this and this. So, and plus I don't want to rush that. I really don't. I feel this is another learning experience. I put that fucking email in months ago.
Right.
And she's just now calling.
Right.
And I'm not ready.
Cool.
To do that.
Okay.
In front of you know what I mean?
I love it. No, you got me. You got me. And I think it's really wonderful. It's almost a position of strength to go, Thursday's just not good for me. Can we do it somewhere else down the road? 'Cause
yeah.
If they like it, they got to like it.
Right.
It's a segment. Just can't do it ASAP.
Yeah.
They'll have to find something else. But you're a good find for them. You could understand that. I mean,
yeah.
They would that's a good find.
So, yeah. So hopefully I'm going to put my video in and just say, hey, give me 2 weeks.
Right.
2 weeks. So that way I can do something specifically for Ellen.
That's perfect. Love it.
Yeah.
For Ellen, your friend.
Right, for Ellen. Right, she's my friend. I'm going to be at her house DJing for her. But
so let's go back to the mantra.
Yes, mantra.
I want to finish it. Finding my mantra.
Finding my mantra.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Finding my mantra. I tried to take singing voice lessons, and my singing coach was like, "You're the most improved."
That's cute.
I was like, okay.
What does that mean? What did I have when I came here?
Oh my God.
Back to the mantra. So what I'm thinking is it has to be something that's going to get to the point that I said about you being honest with yourself, because you were asking for confidence. I really believe your confidence is going to come naturally if you're being honest with yourself. Mm-hmm. So I choose to be honest with myself. That's a really important part, and we'll finish it. But I choose to be honest with myself regarding I got this. I choose to be honest with myself regarding the fact I got this. So why not do it through breath? Go with that. So how much of that can you say back? However you want to say it. I choose to be honest with myself. I think that's really important, is that you be honest with yourself. The key here is to focus on honesty, because you're talking about confidence, and I believe that your confidence is going to come through honesty. That's the theory here. I want to test that theory, but I believe it's going to knock it out of the park. So I choose to be honest with myself.
I choose to be honest with myself.
Now, do you want to say regarding the fact that?
Regarding the fact that
I got this.
I got this. I choose to be honest with myself regarding the fact that I got this.
So I might as well do it through breath.
So I might as well do it through breath. I choose to be honest. I'm choose to be honest with myself regarding the fact that I got this, and I do it through breath.
So I might as well do it.
So I might as well do it through breath.
That's like you're conceding. See, so I might as well. It's sort of like,
okay,
so I might as
I
well
get
do
it.
it through breath. So I choose to be honest with myself.
I choose to be honest with myself
regarding the fact that I got this.
Regarding the fact that I got this.
So I might as well do it through breath.
So I might as well do it through breath.
Now there you go. I think that's going to do it for you. Now, if you're going to be sitting there and you're going, I choose to be honest with myself that I got this, and you're not feeling that, then you're full of shit. Then you're not really choosing to be honest with yourself. Then you're going, okay, I need confidence because I don't have this. It's like, really? You don't have this? That means you're not being honest with yourself. Unless you haven't really prepared. But if you've prepared and you're ready for the inevitable fires, and you got your fire extinguishers and you're ready for plan B, plan C, and the mystery behind door number 4, and you're ready to handle that too, improvise or whatever, then you could choose to be honest with myself regarding the fact that I got this. So I might as well do it through breath.
I would like to record that so I can just listen to it over and over and over.
Okay.
I'm a very repetitious type person.
But this was a really awesome session regarding the mantra. But you get the idea of a mantra, because the idea of the mantra is that you're focusing on being the solution. You're not looking for somebody to do it for you. You're not looking for some magic pill. You're not being entitled. You're recognizing that there are certain calls to answer, things that you have to do that's going to contribute significantly to your success. If you're trying to be successful without this mantra, it's going to be a lot harder, because most likely you're going to do it through pushing. But if you have this, and the reason I use the word mantra is because it means you repeat it. You say it over and over again to the point that you don't have to worry about memorizing it like you do now.
Yeah.
So I choose to be honest with myself.
I choose to be honest with myself
regarding the fact that I got this.
So
I might as well do it through breath. Actually, I'm going to add another so in there. You ready? I choose to be honest with myself. Regarding the fact that I so got this. So I might as well do it through breath. Bingo. There it is.
Okay.
Awesome. Good session, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Doc.
Till next time.
Yeah.
Be well. That's a wrap.
Rap.
Rapper. They call him the rapper. It's a 70s thing. Rap.
Really?
You know what he's after.